Jane exported 10 tons of cocoa to Germany last month. The exact money and time you wasted on goods to lay.
She did it in 6 months with our Export Novice to Export Legend program. No need to hunt for buyers or stress over unreliable suppliers.
No documentation or quality wahala. All thanks to Treaty Impress Trade Academy.
So, whether you're a corporate worker, trapped in the 9 to 5, raising against retirement,
a manufacturer drowning in unsold goods,
an importer terrified of the exchange rate,
you're not so different from Jane. She wasn't special. She only used a proven system to
land 5 verified buyers from the start,
partner with reliable suppliers,
earn 5 million naira in real export while training,
sort out all documentation and registration before it was even needed.
You too can learn this in our Export Novice to Export Legend program for just 1 million naira, but it's only available for just 20 people.
So you have to act fast. Click now and book your free call. Let's ship your first container in 6 months. Your future is not here, it's in global trade.
Banks are looking for you. Me?
your child graduated into the worst job market in years.
Getting a job has never been harder in Nigeria. But instead of them finishing NYC and return to sit at home,
what if we could get them notice in just 3 months and land a high-paying job in banking, whether or not they study banking?
Because banks today are not hiring based on certificates. They're hiring based on what you can do.
And the one skill they're always hiring for is international trade. Why? Because that's where the real money moves. Export deals, foreign transactions, and international payments.
Imagine your child landing a banking job immediately after NYSC.
Not just any role, but in the prestigious Trade and Compliance Unit, where they get fast-tracked promotions, and the average staff earns a very good income, significantly more than their peers.
This is what happens when they become a certified basic trade professional.
At the Institute of Export and International Trade, in partnership with the International Chamber of Commerce, we have created a 3-month capacity building program
that turns fresh graduates into trade-ready professionals, so they don't sit at home applying for jobs, but rather prepare for greater career within and outside the banking sector.
The full program costs 470,000, and we have made it much easier by allowing you to split your payment in 3 parts.
Click the link below to register your child and give them the edge they need to succeed before the job market leaves them behind.
So we're on to Chad Republic today. You know, we travel around Africa every week. And as we travel around Africa, we basically are looking for opportunities in different markets in Africa that we can leverage upon as Nigerians and Africans, so that the benefit under the AfCFTA does not remain just a paper benefit, but a reality in the life of African businesses. Research has shown constantly that many people are unable to take advantage of free trade agreements around the world, not just in Africa, because they are not aware of it. 30% Academy did a research last year, 2019, and we discovered that many companies in Nigeria that have product eligible for export in West Africa are unable to export under the ETLS, a type of free trade agreement in West Africa, because they are not even aware that that exists. They are not even aware that that exists. They are not even aware that that exists. And that's very important. Very important, because the implication of that is that you can't really take advantage of what you don't even know exists in the first place. So today we are traveling to Chad Republic. That's a neighbor of Nigeria. And we're going to be discussing how to access the market in Chad Republic. We're going to be discussing how to access the market in Chad Republic. Here is Chad, bounded by Libya, bounded by Niger, bounded by Central African Republic, bounded by Sudan, and of course, bounded by Nigeria. You know, what's interesting about this is that a number of Nigerian businesses in the northern part of the country already trade with North African country, Central African country, and even some West African country north of Nigeria. I was in Kano early last year for a seminar. a training for CBN and no, I think it was for CBN. Okay, no, it was an LBS program on the export program they do with Fidelity Bank. And, you know, the water I was drinking had English and French on it. I was telling someone sitting, I said, look, you see this water? It's sold in Chad. It's sold in Chad. That's why they have French on it. I served in Jigawa State, and I remember Megateri Market, a market where you do informal trade with Niger Republic. That's in Jigawa State, actually. You know? So a lot of trade are going on in the north, but for the challenge of Boko Haram, sincerely, Maiduguri is a major business area, channel for going into different North African and Central African country, but that business now is terribly affected because of the challenge with Boko Haram. Chad Republic is about 15 million people located in sub-Saharan Africa. It might interest you to know that Chad is a low-income country. Remember, what do we mean by low-income country? A low-income country is a country where the annual income of an individual, average annual income of individual in that country is less than $1,000. About $1,026. The middle-income country, that's the lower middle-income country between 1,026 and 3,955, and the upper middle-income country between 3,956 and 12,475. Above 12,005 are the the high-income countries. The high-income countries. So if you look at Chad right now, you will notice that Chad is not doing so well as far as the ease of doing business is concerned. Chad is 182 country out of about 190 countries, scoring 36.9%. But a country with a huge population, 15 million is a lot, even though it's less than Lagos State. So let's do our economic snapshot as usual. Located south of Libya in Central Africa. It's a landlocked country. Among the 15 landlocked countries, no access to sea. Predominantly Muslim country. More like Nigeria, almost 50-50 Muslim Christian. And like I often say, that knowing the predominant religion in the country is a very important point, because that might affect your decisions also in what can be sold in that country. Estimated population at July was 16.8 million people. Official language, French, Arabic. The agri product you find in that country, cotton, sorghum, millet, peanut, sesame seed, corn, rice, potato, onion, cassava, cattle, sheep, goat, camel. Industries, oil, cotton, textile, brewing, soap, sodium carbonate, natron. Like I say, it's a low-income country. Remember the implication of a low-income country. You will notice, if you have been following me, you will notice that for most countries we have done that low-income country, you notice a trend. The consumption component of the GDP, the household consumption component of the GDP is 75%. So the people are basically living for survival. Any country where you have low income, the people are basically living for survival. So that means fast-moving consumer goods are better off in those countries because they are basically living for survival. When people are going to import into those countries, it's going to be predominantly fast-moving consumer goods. Retail product that people can buy off the shelf. Food item, processed food item, cosmetics. Just what human beings need for survival. Just what human beings need for survival. The GDP of this country is 31.9 billion. Still a lot better by many African countries. But, you know, far, far lower than Lagos State. You can see the reason why it's a low-income country. Per capita income is $700. Remember, to be in the lower middle-income country, it has to be more than $1,000 per annum. Per capita income here is $700. GDP composition. You can see that this country is doing a lot with agri and services. So if you want to export services, you probably have a market there. And they're doing well in agri. But industrial development is low. Now, for me, this is an opportunity for Nigeria. The fact that industrial sector contribution is low in this country is a sign that manufactured goods will thrive in Chad. Manufactured goods will thrive in Chad. Manufactured goods will thrive. And you will see when we begin to look at the product they import, you begin to see the product they import into this country, Chad. Manufactured goods will thrive. Just like many African countries, but this particular country, in my opinion, is very peculiar. Almost 70% of the population of Chad is below 24 years. Almost 70. This is the advantage of Africa, actually. This is the advantage of Africa. This is the advantage of Africa. This is the opportunity and benefit that Africa has. Young and youthful population. But remember that in as much as we aspire to be developed, which is necessary for us, the more developed a nation is, the more the aging population of that nation. That's why you see a lot of people, you see a lot of developed countries are doing a lot of immigration program to get young minds, brilliant chaps from all over the world to migrate to their country. From China, from Canada to Australia to some part of Europe and even America. So let's move on in discussion on Chad. Remember the question I ask every week? What product are you looking at exporting? Can you export that product? Do you have what it takes? Do you know if there's a demand for that product? What is your value proposition that will make you distinguish in the marketplace? Do you understand the target market? Can you meet the market price expectation? Do you have a distribution and marketing plan? Do you have the capacity and capability to export? Have you investigated payment issues? Can you fund your export drive? Have you completed your export plan?
To get the full video, check the description or visit www.globaltradecollege.com.